Fresh questions are now swirling around whether Andrew Windsor will be welcomed at what is expected to be one of the royal family's most emotional private farewells. According to reporting cited by RadarOnline.com, discussions are said to be taking place over whether the former prince should attend the funeral of Lady Pamela Hicks, one of the royal family's most beloved figures and a woman long considered part of the late Queen Elizabeth's inner circle. Lady Pamela passed away at the age of 95. She was the younger daughter of Lord Louis Mountbatten, served as a bridesmaid at Queen Elizabeth's wedding, and remained one of the monarch's closest confidants for decades. Her funeral is expected to be deeply personal and family-focused. But according to the report, one issue is allegedly creating quiet concern behind the scenes, whether Andrew's presence could end up becoming the headline. The 66-year-old former Duke of York has remained under scrutiny for years following controversies linked to his association with Jeffrey Epstein and, more recently, renewed debate surrounding property arrangements connected to Royal Lodge. According to RadarOnline.com, sources claim some involved in discussions fear public attention surrounding Andrew could overshadow what is intended to be a dignified farewell. One royal source reportedly said, quote, "There is genuine uncertainty about whether Andrew should attend." The source allegedly added that nobody wants a family funeral overshadowed by controversy, and concerns remain that attention could shift away from celebrating Lady Pamela's life. The situation appears especially delicate because previous funerals connected to the Mountbatten family were attended by senior royals, including Andrew himself. That history is now said to be complicating conversations. Another insider, quoted by RadarOnline.com, claimed that if Andrew does attend, efforts would likely be made to keep attention away from him and firmly on the family. According to that source, relatives are aware that any public appearance involving Andrew inevitably attracts headlines, and that is reportedly why guidance from palace circles is said to be under consideration. For now, no official decision has been publicly confirmed, but the discussion itself has already triggered speculation. The reported debate comes as Andrew once again finds himself facing renewed scrutiny, this time following revelations tied to Royal Lodge, the Windsor estate he occupied for years before reportedly relocating earlier this year.
Fresh questions are being raised about the finances of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor after a new report revealed he was allowed to sublet multiple properties within the grounds of Royal Lodge while paying only a nominal rent for the estate itself. The arrangement has sparked criticism from royal finance experts and renewed scrutiny over how royal properties are managed and funded. Here's what the latest findings reveal. According to a report by the National Audit Office, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's lease agreement for Royal Lodge permitted him to sublet up to 3 properties located within the estate grounds. The report did not disclose how much income was generated through the arrangement, nor how long the cottages were occupied. However, critics argue that the lack of transparency raises significant questions about public accountability. A royal source reportedly maintained that the cottages were rented to staff and that the income was used to help cover maintenance costs associated with the Royal Lodge estate. The revelations come amid broader scrutiny of royal property arrangements following concerns about the terms under which ex-Prince Andrew occupied Royal Lodge, a substantial Windsor estate he leased in 2003. Under the agreement, Andrew reportedly invested millions of pounds into renovations, reducing the upfront premium he was required to pay while allowing him to occupy the property under highly favourable terms. Former Liberal Democrat minister and royal finance commentator Norman Baker criticized the arrangement, claiming cottages in the area could command substantial annual rents. Baker argued that any proceeds from subletting should have flown back to the Crown estate rather than remaining private income. The report also highlighted other royal housing arrangements, including residences occupied by non-working royals whose accommodation costs are reportedly covered through royal funding mechanisms. Meanwhile, Andrew has already surrendered Royal Lodge and relocated to a smaller residence on the Sandringham estate. The former Duke of York remains within a notice period connected to the termination of his lease. The National Audit Office stated that its report was not intended to assess value for money. However, the findings are expected to inform a wider inquiry by Parliament's Public Accounts Committee on royal property arrangements and public accountability. Buckingham Palace welcomed the report and said the findings would help provide context regarding royal residences and property agreements, as reported by British media. The Crown Estate reportedly also stated that its lease arrangements with members of the royal family were agreed using independent professional advice and market valuations. As parliamentary scrutiny intensifies, the debate over transparency, royal finances, and public accountability appears far from over. Whether the upcoming inquiry produces further disclosures remains to be seen, but the latest revelations have once again placed Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and royal property arrangements firmly under the spotlight.